Welcome to Balance Media.
First of all, and I think this is a standard I want to develop with all correspondence, is, Peter, I would like to ask for permission to record you today.
You got it? Yeah.
I would like to ask if you could tell us a little bit about yourself today.
Making plaster reliefs for 50 years. I first started when I was in my 20s at art school, and I came across, I was in the clay and mold making studio, working with clay, plaster, wax, and I was fooling around trying to do something with rabbit bones, and I discovered this process of making reliefs by making impressions in clay and then pouring plaster in, and you flip it over and peel the clay out and you get a positive relief. And I took that and ran with it and kind of made it my own. And I've been doing it ever since, on and off over the years. I joined the NIAC collective, the North End Art Collective, that part of the Masset market. When Natalie and Shannon and a bunch of the market people created the market, they always had the idea of creating a gallery as well within the space. So we've done that by creating this gallery, and we've had 4 shows, and I'm on the board, and nothing was scheduled. So I said, "Hey, can I have a show in July?" And said, "Yeah, please do." So I created these reliefs for this show, and the process of making these is I made 2 separate molds of the basic frame, and then each one I can customize by putting in, like, rolling out clay in this shape and putting it in the mold, and then I stamp the clay. And I'm pretty good at it because I've been doing it for so long, so I have an idea of what I'm going to get. It took a while, you have to think in the negative. For example, this was from a leather belt. This is the first time I've used 3D printed images.
Wow.
That from photos I took around Haida Gwaii. Like, this was an eagle, and I mirrored it in Photoshop, and then a piece of my jewelry stamped in, and these little things are clay stamps. So I have a whole repertoire of stamps, jewelry. It's like this one, I have comfrey leaves in it, and in this one I have a bear ring, and all sorts of different things. Like, this is eagle talons, and all sorts of different. I have a whole repertoire of image making stamps that I use, and then I after that's composed, I pour the plaster in, flip it over, and then peel the clay out to reveal the positive that I've created. And it's always a treat to pull the clay out and see what I get. It's like opening a Christmas present or something. It's like, ooh, look at that.
These are stunning.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had a pretty good response, and this gallery, the way we set it up with the plywood, it just really fit well, like the white frame and the white walls above and below, and the brown of the tone of the plywood. So yeah, it's been pretty successful. I'm quite pleased, and I'm looking forward to making more. And I after doing 18 of these, I learn something every time I do it. So the next ones will be even better. So
that's incredible.
This is kelp, like seaweed, that beautiful texture you see on the beach. Here is a little crow head that I made in silver, and I use that to make the impressions. And there's little maple leaves. I made a silver maple leaf thing. And this is a mink skull that I rolled in as the base, and then I kind of create a figure out of it. And then I use, over and over again, I use these different stamps and just compose. This is from a photograph of an eagle that I mirrored and tweaked, and then I used the loberia lichen to texture it, and then 3D printed this thing to give it that sort of look, and that's from a ring of a bear that I made. This is from a ring that I made, and I just rolled it into the clay to get, you know, the line to make it like that.
It's amazing that clay
Is
takes
magic.
on
Yeah.
so, and you're using a multiple diverse items to
Yeah.
make these reliefs or these impressions.
Yeah.
And they show through.
Yeah, clay's magic, the way it picks up the details so beautifully. That's sea urchin, and the lines are knife cuts in the clay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this one, that was a raccoon skull, a mink skull, ermine skull that I kind of rolled in, and then I used my jewelry to stamp, and bones for like arms. So I make kind of these figures, and that's from a turtle that I carved in wax and cast in silver, and this is seaweed or coral texture. So I'm a texture hound. I look for stuff that will be, you know, good for making these impressions.
What are some of the mediums that you work in aside from this clay work?
I work in a lot of different mediums. I do bronze sculpture. I got into printmaking. Jewelry casting is one of my base practices. I do that. I've done that for a long time, and I teach it up here in the fall and winter mostly. Yeah.
How has Masset responded to your art and your experience and your teaching?
Really well. I can only teach small classes because I don't have that much room, but we get together and we just laugh and make stuff. And it's a really nice community event with people who might not otherwise be engaged with each other. They, you know, get together once a week, and everyone really looks forward to it. And it's really nice, especially in the winter when it's horizontal rain and dark and cold, and you get together in a cozy studio and you're creating and getting together to do stuff like that. It's really good. It's really nice. It's a nice evening. Yeah, it's pretty cool. In my classes, I get a real mix of male, female, old, young, Haida, non-Haida, everything, you know. And it's really nice kind of bringing people together. Yeah. I originally came here because my sister had taught swimming in the pool that the Army had built in the 70s. I was in high school, and I was always curious about the place, and I came for 10 days, and I met Susan Musgrave. I stayed at the Copper Beach where my sister lived for 9 months, and she loved my jewelry. And then I met Ron Russ, who held up a piece of my jewelry and said, "Oh, I had a dream about this the other night." And I went up to his studio and saw his stuff, and he encouraged me to come back and teach jewelry casting. And I got my first ever grant to come the following summer for 5 months, and met more people and got more plugged into the community, and realized that it was a place that I really liked and felt comfortable and welcomed, and, you know, I felt wanted. They liked me, you know, like.
They really, really like me.
Yeah. Sally feels, and yeah, so. Yeah, I just thought it was a good fit, and I ended up buying a house here and creating a studio. After I bought it 2 months later, COVID hit, so I had lots of time to renovate, and now I'm all set up. The show opened July 1st, and it runs to the 26th, and you can see it on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 till 2, and then 5 to 7 in the evening, on those days.
So you're going to have another viewing here in just another hour or two?
That's right, later on, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and so come on down, check it out. Yeah,
There.
yeah.
I appreciate your time, and your art is magnificent.
Thank you very much.
And let's spread the word.
Yeah, yeah.
How so much?
All right, well, how for doing it?
This is Peter Sloan.